Hello, you guys. I'm Rissie, and he's Izzy.
Hello.
And I kind of want to share with you guys of what happened to me as like a kid. Okay, I was born with a heart disease, which is called Hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which means that the left side of my ventricle of my heart was underdeveloped. Is basically less blood, less growth is what happened. Basically, with this heart disease, you guys are not aware of it. Basically, it's just if a baby was born with it, they need automatically open heart surgery for it, because if they don't, they could die. Because what it does is, of course, part of your heart isn't there, it's not developed, so it doesn't work. So it would be really difficult for your body to pump blood and oxygen throughout your body. So basically, it will weaken your lungs, and it will suffocate you. And as a baby, you basically will suffer from breathing, and you could die. What happened with me was they didn't. I wasn't diagnosed with it until I was 6 weeks old, and how that happened was. I had some other holes in my heart, so kind of like the holes are kind of working with my heart instead of against my heart. It was the blood is like flowing through like my heart, and whatever beat that it could get from the right kind of help with the lung type heart. But of course, it's not strong enough to keep me alive forever. And the sign of what happened, tell that something was wrong with me, is that I wasn't coloring at all. So I was like turning gray. I wouldn't grow any hair, so I was like completely bald. My fingertips and like lips were turning blue. So I just want to say before I continue is, if you guys are a first time parent, like, to notice that your kid has any type of birth defect, even though you can't see it, the way to tell, because sometimes some heart disease or heart defects you can't always tell like right away, is that watch how your baby cries. Like, if your baby isn't screaming and crying and it barely is crying, or it's not loud enough, and that's how it normally will cry, that's a sign that it has a birth defect. So just keep that in mind when you're watching over your kid and everything. So okay, so my aunt was holding me and she pointed that out. So she told my mom, and my mom took me to urgent care, I think, or some pediatrics, and they took me to urgent care, one of the two, and they diagnosed me there. And basically, I wouldn't gain any weight. I always would throw up. I couldn't keep nothing down. I was like underweight and everything. So right there, I was airlifted, and I had my first open heart surgery. And they basically said if I didn't urinate or anything like that, then I could have died. And I kept on urinating, so that was a good sign, Yes, I had a pastor pray over me, and it kind of helped me to stay alive. I do believe that I passed away during one of the time because of the experience that I have witnessed on the other side. Like, I talked to someone, like, I believe that it's God, but of course everyone else had to say, oh, it wasn't God, or what does God look like? And I got questioned all this before. I basically don't care what anyone has to say. I don't really care what anyone has to question it or what their questions are. As long as I had that experience, as long as I know, I'm just going to keep it to myself, because there's a lot of people out there that don't believe the same way I believe, and I'm not going to force it on anyone, because I really don't care what they believe. But basically, so that was my first open heart surgery. My second, I was 1. And by then, I couldn't gain any weight again. I started to grow hair, but not as much, you could say. So they call me Tweety Bird because they say I kind of look like a bird because how my head was oddly shaped, I guess, or whatever. So that was my second heart surgery, and my third open heart surgery was when I was 2.5. So it was before I was 3, and basically that was like my last surgery. That surgery was the worst because they put an IV in my leg and everything. And show my leg. They put an IV in this vein right here, and I guess the dumbass nurse, missed the vein. I guess she got it like around this area. Anyway, she gave me the medication. I don't really know. A lot of people ask me, what is the medication? Like, what did she give you? I honestly don't really know. But anyways, she gave it to me, and it gave me a chemical burn. It burned the flesh off my bone. And this is a skin graft that remains. This is a hole that they use to put medication in and stuff. And it was like strapped up, like, you know, like I was burned and everything. And basically it was a chemical burn. And so I had that since I was 2.5. Growing up as a kid with it was really hard, only because a lot of people will like question me about it, and I honestly couldn't explain what it was or anything, because I didn't really ask my mom what it was, or my mom didn't really tell me, or she probably did. I just didn't know how to explain it, I guess. And so that basically is what happened. A lot of people said a lot of bad stuff about me, like behind my back. I got called from some guys that they called it like the blender leg, which I thought was really funny, because blender leg means that with blades, and they are dumbasses, because that wasn't with a damn blade. That was a chemical. It was a chemical burn, you dumbass. A lot of people question, oh, did you got trapped in a house fire as a kid? No, I never once had a house fire. I hope that I never will get into a house fire, you know, especially if it's mine, because that, you know, that'd be really fucking scary. So that's just be it. Like, after that surgery or whatever, I couldn't walk with this leg for a couple of months or weeks or so. It healed, I guess, like a year or so. I forgot how many years, but finally I was able to walk, and I went to school. And growing up as a kid, I always would try to hide my scars, because I never really want to show anyone. Until I got to, I guess, around the 4th grade or so, because I always got picked on, I never really had any friends. I got to the point where, you know something, I don't really give a fuck. So I was kind of more revealing with them, but not as bad. In high school, I did. I wore shorts and flip-flops, like flip-flops, or sandals, whatever you want to call it. Like, I did not care. Some people would stare or look at it. I don't care. Basically, if you ever see me in public or whatever, don't be afraid to ask what it is. I don't mind telling you the story or anything like that. You can't really offend me with it, because I actually like my scars, because it shows the stuff that I've been through, to kind of show me that I have a purpose here in life. And a lot of you people that don't or haven't had the same experience that I do, you guys basically had to tell yourself that you guys were here for a reason. Well, I have scars to prove that I am. So a lot of you guys, like, I'm not saying that I had it worse than others. There's some people that had it worse than me. Like, people probably lost their kid or have cancer or something far worse. So I'm not saying I have it far worse. I'm just saying that I'm not ashamed of any of this, of my scars. I don't need to be. So I'm just gonna wear them out proudly. And I love my scars and everything. So yeah, so those are my scars and everything. I want you guys in the comments below, I want you guys to tell me your guys' story, if it's a medical reason why do you have your scars, or probably an abusive relationship, or probably growing up as a kid if you faced child abuse before, and or you want to share any story like that, you know, if you want. I also want you guys down in the comments if you want me to tell you guys a story of how I started to become religious, or how I got interested in the whole religious belief. Just let me know if you guys want me to or not. Also, I want you guys to tell me if you guys want me to do makeup tutorials of how I do my natural makeup, or like my goth makeup and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's like a lot more stories that I could tell you guys. Tell me if you want to hear them or not. Just like and subscribe and let me know. Alright, thank you. Bye.